All right, good morning, YouTube and the world. It is Matthew Baird here again. I'm going to start today's show with a little something from. It just says the Sun News. I don't know. I use those guys a lot.
That food is made with
Oh yay! It's going to start with a commercial, but that does. Let me set this up. This is another Biden's mental moments that are indicative of mental health disorder of some sort.
This supplemental funding, I'm also sending to Congress a comprehensive package that will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts, their luxury homes, and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy.
And this is reading from prompters.
Kleptocracy. The guys who are the
This is his eloquence and his articulation of the language as he slaughters it.
Attacking Russia. We're helping Ukraine defend itself against Russian aggression. And just as Putin chose to launch this brutal invasion, he could make the choice to end this brutal invasion. Russia is the aggressor. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Russia is the aggressor.
Kleptocracy. Russian is the aggressor unless you count NATO non-force. There's more than one way to be aggressive. They're using propaganda to be aggressive, to motivate the country, to agree with their perspective on what's happening over in Ukraine here from an American. You know, we're in America. We don't know what's going on over there. Another thing I wanted to point out over here, Marfugel was talking about there is very real possibilities with all the earthquakes and what have you going on that there could be tidal waves that could be up to 300, foot tall, which is a very real possibility. We've got Miss Mary Greeley here. This was 5 days ago. I'm not getting the same, and I don't know if you've noticed, try on different devices, but you will notice that you are not getting you're not going to get the same shows, even if you watch the same shows, if you've got logged in on different devices or under different names. It's John from Paramind. I highly suggest that show. Shoot. Well, I hate to go there, but I think I already covered that one. Lies, lies, and more lies. Solar flare, new sunspots, current nova, suspicious observers. Those guys are also the real deal. They're as good as Mr. MBB 323. I don't want to, but Gina Marie Colvin over here was looking at the strikes of lightning and the patterns that they follow across the globe. I have noticed that if you look, you can see that they're concentrated around mostly northern or western European states. I don't know what that deal is. There was some stuff on here that looked interesting. That's why. You know what it is? I'm gonna have to look manually, but first we will give Mr. Suspicious Observers a moment to catch us up on space weather a little bit.
He's so much guy.
Good people, good show, good information. Here's his promo. There goes his promo.
Activity here for a couple days. We did see an M-class solar flare this morning, but it was at the limb. Solar wind at Earth has entered calm ambient stream state, and even the erupting plasma filaments are taking a bit of a break compared to last week. As we watch that solar flare this morning at the incoming limb, this area will obviously be a watch in the days ahead as it turns in, but also a new sunspot group being born as we speak, growing at low latitudes there and could produce flares by tonight. Folks, NASA dropped about 40 new animations through SVS last night.
I'm not going to steal their whole show. Jeez, I respect that guy. He's real news people. I don't want to step on any toes. I'm just going to change the screen so that, no, it did not change anything. All right. Gosh darn it. I'm going to have to go to Security Team 10. Because this, I wanted to include there's Tyler. Sup, Tyler? I've been a huge fan of that guy forever. He has always been the most up to date, most volume of sheer footage, just sheer volume of footage and up to date information with who saw what, when, and where. Look, there he is showing his YouTube medal. I remember when he got that. That was cool. Yeah, we're justifiably proud of it. And as fun as that is.
What's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So I had planned at some point during this weekend, and it looks like I'll just barely make it, to post an extra video that you didn't have to wait 10 days in between, and so it looks like I have done it. But no, I just wanted to throw up a quick video to show you a few of, well, more of the same epic, cool, mysterious UFO-related material that we love here on the channel. Now, you might be wondering about the intro and what the piece of paper is at the end of it. And I know most of you who've...
And much love, Tyler, and definitely catch his channel.
Let's check out some cool UFO
like and
footage.
Subscribe, but for now,
So
as part of my
this is an official NASA image taken during the STS-100 mission, which launched on April 19th of 2001. So this was a space shuttle launch, which then docked to the International Space Station, or ISS, and of course, as with every mission, many photographs of this beautiful blue marble we call Earth were taken, and in this particular one, which you can download the high-resolution file, and these files are huge, but as always, there is usually something lurking out in the darkness, as we've shown on this channel for years. And so let's start to zoom in here, and as we do, just right near the horizon line,
if you can see that,
see what appear to be, and what has been described by others who emailed me this image. It's been around for a while, but I can't remember if I've posted on it. But we see these what appear to be metallic orbs sitting here in a straight line formation, and there's 5 of them. I'm sure many of you are noticing already that 4 of these, we'll call them metal spheres, the first 4 are the same size and shape, and then we have this 5th one that is about twice the size of the other 4. And as I said, the reason they appear to me to look like metallic spheres is just because of the light and shadowing to them, where on one side these things are being lit up.
Yeah. And this is another way to kind of avoid copyright infringement. No, it's not to be untoward. It's just this is his content, his descriptions, his find, his wow. That's
Just
cool.
captured in Earth orbit between 200 and 600 miles up into the atmosphere. So tell me what you guys think about this.
That is cool.
50 years ago, just as we were going to land on the moon and they were orbiting the moon, and if you follow the channel, you will most likely recognize this immediately. If we just zoom
just to
in
the bottom
to
left, right there,
crater here, and I'm not sure if the astronaut saw it or if this was the reason that the astronaut was pointing his camera out the window, because he saw what you are now seeing sitting inside this crater. and we will go ahead and flip the perspective of this just to get a better vantage point. And right at the edge of a pretty massive crater in the region that is sitting in shadow as it is unable to be hit by the sun, we have this strange blue light being emitted from the darkness. So this light, we're talking something that, would be giant. Even a football stadium light in this crater would not show up this brightly. So we're talking about between 2 and 5 of those giant spotlights that you see outside of parties and events, kind of like the bat signal. And as I reviewed this, I noticed that just off to the left here is yet another one of these mysterious blue lights that, as I said earlier, I've shown on this channel so many times. And in some of those photographs, when zoomed in and analyzed, you can actually see solid structures behind these glowing auras around them. So yeah, another smaller blue glow, yet again coming from a shadowy portion of the moon. Again, lurking in the darkness. It would appear these things love to do, watching from a distance. So NASA, never a straight answer, might tell you that, oh, these are just photograph, flares or weather balloons, possibly. But as I
Weather
said,
balloons.
I've shown photographs where these things have structures, solid structures, but emit this sort of plasma blue glow. So
Yeah, that is cool.
you to show your appreciation for the work that I'm doing, but specifically for a certain video.
Okay. We're going to come over to the one we're coming for.
Amount or enter your own, as well as writing a super thanks comment, which allows you to buy a really cool.
They are monetized channels. I am not. They have enough viewers to where they get income from advertisements and put into the show, as well as you can donate, contribute to the truth cause.
Due to the content I speak on, this is a really awesome feature that allows you to show your support.
They will not monetize anyone who says anything counter to the thought police agenda.
Helps creators, because believe it or not, researching and putting together a video.
And they really do have a good point.
I want you to see this telescopic moon video that was sent to me. It doesn't have any audio, but it appears to be from a telescope. It's got this wobbling to it, which is prominent with any telescope looking out into space, because that wobbling is being caused by the Earth's atmosphere. And we have these 4 or 5 glowing lights, plain to see, right at the horizon line where the moon goes from sunlight to darkness.
Yeah.
And at one point, it looks as if the object releases something behind it. Something flies off of it. Actually, a couple of objects come off this thing, and it looks.
That's
it has the type.
And
of,
these are taken by
glowing
NASA
aura
footage.
around it that I would expect to
This
see
is
with
NASA footage,
a
so
video recording that's from a camera attached to the lens of a telescope.
Who's gonna fake NASA footage? You can't do that because it's on NASA website. The NASA footage is on the NASA website, so it can be verified easily. So when someone says it's NASA footage and they caught these things on NASA footage, they mean literally NASA, the government agency, has this on their file officially in their records, and it's not on the news.
And finally, at the end of the short video, starts to move into the darkness.
Not the mainstream news.
Toward or behind the moon, so it begins to fade out. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. I'm stumped, man, but pretty cool. And lastly, before we go today, because again, I just wanted to post a video showing some just...
I'm not going to give all of his stuff. For more of his, check him out. It's Secure Team 10 YouTube. Always good information, just like Mr. Weatherman. Plus, the X1 solar flare hits Earth with X-ray causing radio interruptions. Now that's Wages World. He is definitely mainstream truther. Guys are scientific.
Here, even
They're
the total
scientists.
amount
They're reading
is more.
scientific data.
And over here, you can see it jumping up and down pretty drastically. We haven't seen that this time. We've seen just a slow, steady increase with a little bit of a, every once in a while you get one little jog down
Talk about solar wind.
in the numbers. But this is definitely saying things are a little bit more active. Now, solar maximum is supposed to be here, guys.
Yeah.
We are only 30, 35, I think. What's the number there? 115, 84. So we're looking at about 30 sunspots. And we would be in, that's what they were forecasting solar maximum to be. I mean, that's how close we are in those numbers. So keep that in mind. That stuff is not.
So we're already seeing the projected maximum, and we're only 1/3 of the way there.
People that are kind of
to solar maximum.
But yeah, because a lot of us haven't really been doing this since the last sun cycle when it was in solar max. So some of what we're seeing is probably just that uptick, but is what it is. Now, let's see here. What was I going to show you? Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys because here's what we're talking about when we're talking about stuff that the heck is going on with that? Man, I tell you what.
We already covered that a little bit. You can see he puts on a really good show. Top notch guy. We're gonna put Weatherman Plus on because that's part of it. Catastrophic weather is a large part of it. You should be aware of that. Be aware of your weather, what's coming.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. And not only do I have the update on this extreme weather that is still coming and is starting to look a little bit worse, the system that's going off to the East Coast, still a little too far to know what that's doing, but both models are showing that it's going to do something crazy. Plus, I got your updates on your severe weather, and it has grown in the areas that I have been showing you about this extreme weather, as well as the links. If you need to see any of the links, remember, scroll down below, click on Show More, and you will see all the links that I always provide for you. Just remember, click that like button and hit that subscribe button while you're doing it.
Yeah, these guys are professionals. I'm just looking at professionals. I have no intention of monetizing or anything like that. Just keeping a record of it as it's going. Putting it out there, warning everybody who listens. God, be with us all,
Time. So we'll keep you updated on that. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you show support. Thank you so much for your time. And let's get into the weather. Now, we do have this system still coming in the next couple of days. And I'm showing that we have a bigger system. This system up here is still going to tumble and come towards us. And this is what's going to cause a lot of our extreme weather that is coming. And I'm still showing that we have big things coming in the middle of May, towards the end of May, towards our hurricane season. So I will keep you updated. Make sure you subscribe. And what's
Also, the earthquake activity is indicative of, I expect that Cascadia and or Yellowstone is going to be erupting sometime in the not too distant future. So you may want to get ready for that. And or sudden rapid expansion of the planet, which would be like multiple super volcanoes going off at the same time.
North Atlantic oscillation lets you know from the center to the east coast of the U.S. what's going on with jet stream, and you can see
the jet stream oscillation.
Yeah.
He
so
goes.
When you have a trough coming down on the west side and a high ridge coming up on the east side, that's where you're gonna get that extreme pattern. And the GFS sees this as well. We're gonna be going into a high ridge, but then we're gonna go into a very deep trough on the west side of our country. At the same time, our center to our east side of our country is going into a high ridge. Let me show you what this looks like. Now, as we look at all of North America, you can see your low pressure system, which is this blue, and these go counterclockwise. And we have our high pressure systems, which are these reds, and these go clockwise in rotation. Now, as you keep on going, you can see we have this low pressure system coming into our country, and it is bringing y'all severe weather. But as we keep going towards this setup, this low pressure system is going towards the East Coast, and according to Euro and GFS, it does some different things. But that big system I showed you in the Pacific Northwest, as that starts to climb into our country, we get this high pressure that starts building from northern U.S. into Canada, and this is going clockwise. So while you have a high pressure going clockwise, you have a low pressure system going counterclockwise, it's going to pull all this moisture and all this severe weather up into the U.S. and Canada. And as that squeezes together, there is your extreme pattern. You have a very strong system pulling this way, you have a very strong high pressure pulling this way, and from south all the way to north is going to be dangerous. Plus, with this low pressure system's doing off into the Atlantic, I will show you, because both models show dangerous situations. Now, as we look and see how strong these storms are going to be coming into our country, this is our potential velocity anomaly. And if you've never been here before, 60W is our east coast, 120W is our west coast. And you can see we do have a system coming right around the 5th, a little bit past it. We have another one coming sometime after the 11th. Plus, we still have our hurricane season going to pop off in the middle of May towards the end of May. Big system. Now, for today's severe weather, you will have thunderstorms in all of this green. But you do have the severe weather going towards Ohio Valley today, and it has upgraded a little bit. So you do have the tornado threat in all this green here, as well as portions of Texas, and you have this 5% in the brown here.
And I am
remember, all these links
almost smack in the middle of that.
Your city is at risk. Today, I mainly want to show you
right at the bottom pattern. I'm right at the bottom edge of the red zone there.
Still have the fire threat for today, elevated in the orange and critical in the red, as well as your cities at risk. So remember, use the links.
Yeah.
And tomorrow, as we get towards the 4th and the 5th, on that first system I showed you, you will still have thunderstorms in all this green, but the tornado threat is getting strong. You have the 5% in the brown, the 2% in the green, 10% in the yellow, and a severe risk in the black. Plus, you will have a wind threat and a big, large hail threat. This is your significant hail in the black. Remember, your cities are in the description, so you'll see if you're at risk. And once again, getting out the way, you do have the fire risk for tomorrow. Elevated in the orange and the critical in the red with your places. Now, as we go into Thursday, this is going to continue and grow. This is where this pattern is really going to come together and start making it extreme, guys. And you do have an enhanced section for Thursday. It has grown. Big section. So here's your severe weather risk for Thursday. 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow, and a big 30% in the red for an enhanced section. Remember.
And it's Tuesday, May 3rd as of this episode.
Pulls up from the south to the north, just like I showed you yesterday. As we go into Sunday, it's going to take a couple of days for this heating to really pull up, for this pattern of this high pressure and this low pressure to pull everything northern in our U.S. So for Sunday, you have a 15% risk, as well as for Monday, you have a big 15% risk. And I expect this to grow. And I also expect this to grow. This is your flash flooding. For today, you have the marginal. For tomorrow, it's going to grow. You have a big marginal and a big slight risk.
And for full information on the news, as far as the weather, I would highly recommend that guy. Again, as I've been saying. But, there was another one. Mary Greeley. Because part of it is also, like I said, it's geological. So we'll see if she's got anything new. Yep, large. Another meteor, more fire in the sky there. Another of the signs. We're going to give her.
Let me step into a new day.
Her moment here. And again, another deep diver as far as her subject. I'm more of a meta researcher, meta observer.
Yes, I'm glad you're all here. Today is Monday.
So that was yesterday.
May 2nd, 2022. Here we have an image that was provided by Ed A. Of a fireball that was seen over South Carolina and Georgia last night. Only 6 people reportedly felt that one. Also, last night, there was a Starlink satellite that was seen over British Columbia, Oregon, and Washington. That one burned up coming into the atmosphere of our Earth. Here on AMS, we got the 6 reports and the trajectory of the fireball. This one report from Casey, South Carolina, said it was light blue and white, faint rocket-like noise. So they evidently heard something. And this is he has a video and a still capture of this meteorite as it came in. Yeah, it got really bright and big. Ed A is who it's from.
Yeah, and how would we know if it was a ship or a meteor? And it's not like they would tell us. So it could be a Men in Black, some kind of alien meteor, just throwing it out there, ship, as opposed to a inorganic meteor falling from space.
From Robert in Charleston, South Carolina. He said it was orange and yellow. And he said there was a sound similar to a sonic boom. Well, when it came in, it does get real bright. And it goes in the video behind the hill and tree line. So yeah, maybe it exploded. Here in his comments, he says it burned brighter and then pieces split off. Yeah, you
Well,
meteor
that would be
hunters might be wanting to go out there and look for something.
Oh yeah,
And
that
then
would
there
be a
was
find.
report, more than likely a Starlink satellite that re-entered. It was reported in Vancouver, Victoria.
A different fireball in the sky.
Places there in Washington.
Conjectured to be a
Here
satellite.
they said that their husband thinks it's a meteor consisting of magnesium that skimmed our atmosphere, but I believed it was something stranger than that. To me, it looked like a very, very long, bright plane with windows lit up, or a plane carrying a brightly lit banner. They have an image too. There it is. Wow, look at that. Remember that vortex or UFO or whatever it was that so many people associated with the rocket launch of Starlink?
Yeah.
I believe that occurred on January 31st
I doubt that.
of this year.
January 31st of this year.
Even saw it. You might want to watch this video on space.com. I'll give you a link. It'll be down below. It's a video they have of the most recent SpaceX Falcon rocket. That thing that so many people saw at the end of January, that was not this. I watched the whole thing. Here's one still of it being fired off. Another image. I believe this is the separation of the Falcon 9 rocket. They reuse them now, and it lands on a drone platform out there in the ocean. This image on the right is what's carrying the Starlink satellites. Then just before it lands, it puts out these navigators, I guess. This is here on the right as it's still going up into space. There it is firing the engines as it comes down to land on the drone platform. And there's the platform, and then it switches over to when it lands.
As you
on
can
the
see,
platform.
they do a lot of deep diving in those. For the full story, check her out. Mary Greeley News YouTube. She's very popular for very good reason. And see, there was an earthquake in Yellowstone. And she covered the Ministry of Truth, which is the thought police, the very Nazi-esque. It's deliberately suppressing the truth. It's not about a ministry of truth. It's about a ministry of telling you what you get to believe is the truth. And once they control that, it doesn't matter what you see. You will wait for them to tell you what it is. stock control. It's manipulative. It's not a good sign that the government's doing that, y'all. Small quake in Tennessee. That was 2 days ago. Okay. See, now we're getting to 8 months ago. I'm going to wrap it up. You know about the war in the Ukraine. And rumors of war over in the eastern countries. I think that all things looked at evenly, it's fairly clear conclusion that this is the time of revelations and tribulations, I believe they call it. And it's time to get ready to hang in there until whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. Have the best time you can. Think ahead. Pay attention. Good night, good day, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are when you see this. Matt out.